Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the best damn professional wrestling podcast on the planet. I am, of course, one of your two hosts himself, Odin's greatest creation, the gift to this generation, Mr. Perfection himself, Kurt Carter, and I'm here once again with my guy in the chair, the Ned to my Spider-Man, the Foggy to my Matt Murdock, the Peacemaker to my Vigilante, Magic Fingers himself. And man, what a interesting week it has been. And this episode for you guys will be titled "A Star Is Born," and that's the first topic I want to be talking about today.
Good.
And Drew, man, when I say a star was born, I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say that. I think Obafemi is a made man. He is going to be right up there with Braun Breaker and main event WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania because the show opens with Seth Rollins and his whole masked group, which at this point they need a damn name and they need to start adding actual superstars to it. I get it. You're getting your black, your wrestling school kids in there. That's great. Awesome. Getting them TV time, rewarding them for their hard work. But
Right,
to
right.
me, when this feels like, do you remember Retribution?
Yeah,
This feels like what Retribution should have been.
I see where you're going with that.
And the easiest name right there is for the stable is going to be Revolution because he is a revolutionary. Uh, and I just think at this point we need to start adding people. I don't know where Buddy Matthews' contract stands with AEW, but he would be a perfect fit. Of course, he was already a Messiah for Seth Rollins in one of my favorite gimmicks of Seth, the Monday Night Messiah. So to me, I feel like they need to start adding actual superstars in this group and make it make sense. Because right now they say Seth's not cleared, but they wouldn't have brought him back this close to Mania if he wasn't fucking cleared. They wouldn't have
Yeah,
done it.
yeah.
So to me, it's just like, okay, what are we doing? Like he's got these masked men, and there's dozens of them, and we're just supposed to not know who they are. Like I'm not saying reveal them all at once, but slowly leading up to Mania, start revealing them as actual NXT guys that have been down there
Yes.
for a while, like an
Yeah.
Ethan fucking Page, Ricky Saints even could even come up
That
in
would
there.
be a great way to get them involved. But
It would make too much sense.
let's face it, we know WWE. They're not going to do that.
Yes,
We'll have a better chance of finding out who's on the phone with Randy Orton than we have of introducing more people. They're not AEW where they're going to have five returns in one night.
my heart, and we'll get to that on SmackDown, but I'm gonna go ahead and give my prediction for who's on the phone. And it's just because I grew up in the late to mid 2000s, right? I want Ted DiBiase to be on that phone so bad. Ted DiBiase Jr. to be on that phone so bad.
His court cases allow him to do it now.
I mean, he was not convicted of all 13 accounts, which I've always been a big Ted fan. So even when that came out, I was like, man, I still love you, but we got to see how this turns out.
Yep.
And to now know that he's a free man, like get your ass back in shape and insert yourself in this storyline because people like me and people like you that have been watching for a long time, that first legacy triple threat was dog shit.
Yeah.
And Cody's a star now, and Ted to me was always underrated. So I want to see that so bad. Like just
Yeah, kind of like a like Kurt Hennig's son.
yes.
Underused.
Mm-hmm. Very. But the show opens with Seth coming out there with all his masked men because Adam Pierce called him out there or whatever. And then Paul Heyman comes and says, the fuck around and find out, whatever. And then
Oh,
he
that was a
gets,
beautiful way he came out too.
oh, it was amazing. And then he FA something something F5 and holds up five. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits. And we're thinking, oh God, Seth Rollins is about to die because he just slaughters the entire, basically, no pun intended, shield around Seth Rollins
Yep.
and just takes them all out. And then the lights go out. And I was thinking, no way. Because, like I said it back when he eliminated him on the Rumble, if it's not Obafemi at WrestleMania, then we just wasted Obafemi's Rumble appearance
Oh yeah,
for no
totally,
reason.
totally.
And then Oba comes out, and Oba is already super over. I think he is probably the quickest person to get over from NXT that I can remember, honestly. Maybe since like Finn Balor and Shinsuke, because a lot of people don't watch NXT for lack of a better word. Like they don't.
Yeah.
We have Monday and Wednesday and Friday. Those are people got work, people got things to do, so they don't really tune in on Tuesdays. I've kind of fell out with the product. I think they're okay, but they're kind of just recycling the same stuff, you know, and they got to do something different. They gotta start calling these guys up because they've been there for so long that it doesn't make sense for them to be there anymore. Um, but for a lot of people, they don't watch NXT, and for a lot of people that get called up, they don't really resonate with the crowd right away. But Obafemi, as soon as his music hit at the Rumble, people knew what
Yeah.
to do. People knew his gimmick, knew his thing, and he comes out and man, it is one of the loudest reactions I can remember in recent memory because people knew, oh my god, it's actually happening. Holy shit! So
Yep.
he comes out, he's standing there, and Brock turns around, and Obafemi is one of the only people that I've seen since Goldberg in 2017 lay Brock Lesnar out with a fall from grace. And there's a detail that not a lot of people are talking online. Oba was standing like this next to Brock, and you can see Brock kind of squeeze his foot and tell him, "Put your foot on my chest." Brock Lesnar to me has always been one of the most egotistical people on the planet. Which I mean, if you look like Brock Lesnar, he's a genetic freak. You're going to be.
Yeah.
But for him to realize, okay, I'm out on SummerSlam. Like we all know that's coming. I need to make the next Brock Lesnar. And I think he did that with Obafemi. I mean, it was just, and you could clearly see, I don't know if you caught it, but Oba was in tears after that.
Mhm.
It happened. He rolled out and he realized, like, holy shit, Brock Lesnar just passed me the torch,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Um, and it was such a beautiful moment from a guy who I've loved since NXT to see him come in and be the monster that he needs to be
Yep.
against the biggest monster in the company's history. Oh my god! Like it was so well done. It was so well scripted. But give me your thoughts on it and how do you feel about it?
Dude, I'm sad in a sense that they didn't do more of a build up than what they did for it
Yeah.
because the storyline they could have done the back and forth could have been outstanding, especially for Brock's last Mania, which is what this is going to be.
Well, I mean, we still have
Um,
4 weeks, so they could still build up to that.
yeah, but it's the initial because they were saying that he was going to show week after week after week until someone said, "Hey, I'm going to be your opponent."
Yeah.
Now, was that one hell of an answer? Yes.
Yes.
But I was really thinking they would have drawn it out a little bit longer as a guessing game of who it could be and see all potential powerhouses come out, not just the ultimate powerhouse that's getting the biggest push right now to come out and just declare weeks in advance, yeah, you're my bitch for Mania. So we'll see what happens, but I don't see Brock going over on this one.
I don't either. And the
But I don't
typical
see it being
thing.
a squash match either.
No, I see it being a house match. I see
Yeah.
them beating the piss out of each other, and I see Brock hitting over with every shot he's got. And the way I would build it is you have a competitive match because Brock Lesnar is one of the most underrated wrestlers, in my opinion. Um, I know he's kind of been basic these last couple of years with suplex, F5, F5, but like he's talented. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no doubt about it. And
Do you
so
think he'll actually try his moonsault off the top rope one last time? He's athletic enough to do it.
if he does it, man, he's got to do it in his last match. I
Yeah,
don't because that's a big moment. He almost broke his neck at WrestleMania
yeah,
20, I
yeah. He
believe
almost killed
20.
himself.
Yeah, he almost killed himself. Like if you guys haven't seen that butt, go Google it because it is scary. Um, thank God he was big enough to where his body mass kind of sort absorbed the blow
Yeah.
there. But if he does something like that, it's got to be a last resort against Gunther because I think that's who's going to be his final
Okay.
opponent.
Yeah,
And
more than
the way I would build it is I would have Brock Lesnar hit Obafemi with every F5 imaginable, maybe
yep.
five. And on that last one, Brock's like, okay, I've hit him with five. It's got to be over. Oba just stands up and he's like, I'm not done. Brock turns around. He's looking at Paul, and Paul's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And he's like, what? And he turns around into a fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. Because you have this competitive match. You make them both look strong, but you also make Oba look like an absolute animal. You hit me with
But
your
you got
best shot 5 times, and I just
right.
popped up like it was nothing.
But you've also got to have it to where you can see that Brock is just flat out gassed.
Yes.
to
That's why I
where,
said make it go 15, 20 minutes.
yeah, yeah, he's got to be absolutely exhausted. And then, because again, Oba's not a small fella.
No.
So that's going to take a lot out of you to do the moves you can do with the small people, but still do it to the big guys as well. It's going to take a lot out of you. So if he's got to do it multiple times, but then he all of a sudden he just gets back up or no sells, like I'm not saying, Hulk out and go that route, but at least just show that, yeah, it hurt, but I am absorbing it and I'm, going jungle Super Saiyan mode for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And just one final of his big move, and that being the Brock.
Yeah. I think they got something special on their hands. I just hope they don't mess it up. I really hope they don't mess it up by just having a quick 5 minute match between these two, because they got something very, very,
Not
very
going to be the
special.
same if they do.
Yeah, it's not gonna feel the same. They got
Because
something
it's going
very
to feel, I'm scared they're going to make it feel like what should have been Goldberg and Brock the first time at WrestleMania
yes,
when Stone Cold was the special guest referee. Ended up being Stone Cold doing more damage than either of the actual two behemoths that were supposed to be in there duking it out.
yeah, and that's my big concern with this because it is a Brock Lesnar match.
Right.
Um, he's consistently squashed people, kind of. So I hope it just doesn't. I don't know. I just hope it lives up to the expectation we have behind it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that to me that was the only talking point from Raw. I mean, you had AJ Lee and Bailey, which I don't know why y'all didn't do that at Mania. Um,
Because I think it's going to be a triple threat.
yeah,
I mean, it'll be AJ versus Becky versus Bailey,
yeah,
more than one.
yeah,
Or it's just going to be a repeat of AJ versus Becky.
yeah. Which I don't want to see again. I think that feud's ran its course, you know. But there was really no other talking points from Raw. I mean, it was a very
I wasn't
okay.
even impressed about the Punk and Roman promo at the very
Oh,
end.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
forgot
really wasn't.
about that. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, it was I don't know. I feel like they should have had the conversation with Punk and Roman the last time as the Raw before Mania,
yes,
but yet they've done it too soon.
yeah,
And now they're trying to figure out what do we do to top that or get close to matching it week after week until you get to Mania. So as always, the Raw before Mania is going to be epic. It should be, and then the Raw after Mania is going to be great. But I just feel like they went too soon on that. They
yeah,
pulled the trigger way too soon.
yeah. I completely agree with that. I'm still excited for the match. I just feel like they
Oh
dropped
yeah.
that nuke of a line because it was um way too soon. I feel like that should have been something going into Mania, and then Roman just beats the ever loving hell out of him for saying that about his father. I mean, that to me would have made more sense. But it's typical WWE. They'll figure it out. I think they've done pretty good this WrestleMania season. They did better. I won't say they did better than last year because nothing to me is going to top that build up for Cena's Never Seen 17.
Right.
At least for the next couple of years. I really enjoyed that build up, and that win meant so much to me as a John Cena kid growing up that it will ever forever be etched in my brain. But moving to AEW, but before we get to Dynamite, man, we got to talk about that incredible fucking show that Revolution was, and it was by far pay per view of the year so far.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. And if it wasn't for MJF and Hangman, there was an amazing match by two extraordinary tag teams.
Yes.
In
Oh
my
my
opinion,
god.
that was match of the night
Oh my gosh.
until Hangman and MJF had their match.
Yeah.
And there was so much cringe happening in that one. I couldn't I couldn't stay focused because of how much the shock and awe of what they'd already done with the paper cuts,
Yeah.
or the birthday card cuts, the staple to the birthday card to his chest, the syringe going through his mouth, just oh my God.
Do you feel like they did too much here? Because I see that's the
No.
conversation going around
Oh
online.
no. Oh no. No. The only thing they didn't do was either waterboard each other or try to shoot the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, they stabbed each other with glass or with those sticks, the barbecue,
Skewers.
yeah, the skewers. Thank you. They were stabbing each other with things. He literally put a syringe through his mouth to show the water getting sprayed on the other side or whatever the medicine was, but to prove that was legit. The broken glass and sliding around, the fact that MJF took the time to sweep it up had me cackling at one point. But I mean, that in itself was a true main event in a no hold barred match.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be one of those, oh, it's going to be a Texas death match. We're just going to stay in the ring or whatever and whatnot. Like some other company would do a no hold barred match. But, yeah, I mean, hats off to both. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not going to see our Hangman for a while. It sounds like he's taking a break from wrestling, but I don't think his stipulation that if I lose, I'll never be able to go for the title again will stay in effect. There'll be some kind of match where he can win that opportunity again to trump that rule, but it's going to be a while.
And to
And
me, like that'll be the first time in that company's history that a stipulation has been broken.
yeah,
So to me, I don't want to see that, although I know that's where they're going. Because you had this blood feud, and it pretty much was a blood feud. They hate
oh
each other.
yeah,
To me, it diminishes the feud if you're just like, all right, I took 8 months off or a year off or however long, and I'm back, and I want a match against you, and if I beat you, that stipulation don't matter no more. No, what what was the point of the stipulation in the first place if we do that?
well, who's to say it has to be against MJF? It could
Mm,
just be the fact that he's trying to get the title back itself or win another chance for that title. But he's got to go through like this massive gauntlet or something, or, some kind of impossible task, and then come to find out he actually wins it.
yeah,
Likely he'll probably win it because of assistance from somebody, but he'll likely win it.
yeah.
But that promo that MGF gave afterwards that we got to see Wednesday night,
Good lord.
that was almost up there with Punk pipe bomb worthy. That was
Yes,
amazing.
yes,
But then we found out that Tony Storm got attacked. And she's not going to be around, accordingly to what I'm hearing online, for the rest of the year. For
yeah,
the rest of 2026, she's out. Whether it's planned that way or a legit injury because of the attack, I don't know because it's getting really kind of hard to see in AEW what's scripted, what's
yeah. They're blurring the
personally
lines here.
leaked out. I mean, this is really crossing the line of maybe somebody should have been arrested.
Yeah,
But
and
either way, I'm glued to it.
and we keep saying that Marina Shafir keeps saying she didn't do it. What if she didn't do it? What if it was me, Sharakawa?
There's too many what ifs.
I mean, and
But I feel like it's really going to be someone Tony knew that helped her get destroyed. But she's going to come back with a different persona. She's not going to be timeless Tony Storm.
yeah,
She's going to have a new gimmick. Probably go back to the biker chick look. But honestly, I don't think it was just one person attacking. I think Luther was a part of it as well,
oh my gosh.
and Mira might have been a part of it in some aspect. But remember who came back at Revolution?
Oh,
Bitch on the planet.
yeah,
Who's to say she didn't attack? I mean, it could have been a new group effort. So it's too soon to tell, but it's going to be great to have Tony back whenever she finally does come back.
yeah. And what a shocking debut that was. I mean, we just mentioned her, but like, I hate the bitch just because of what she said about wrestling in the past. And so, oh, it was too hard, and all this. And if it was a real fight, I'd fuck them all up. Fuck you, by the way, for saying that because now you realize, like, holy shit, I can punch people in the face, but I can't wrestle without crying about it. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
Um, but
But
what
to
a
see her unleash that on AEW, where they let a whole lot more slide.
yeah.
Imagine seeing Ronda Rousey in a blood and guts match.
Oh my god,
Yeah, just turn her loose inside that cage. Shit.
what a
She
debut
might
that
not be able to
was.
wrestle, but she can fight. And
What a
that's not really a wrestling match. That's just who can
yeah,
take the most punishment.
yeah. And hopefully they don't have Chris Cyborg anywhere around. But Jesus, man. I mean, what a shocking debut. It really was. It was like what because she came out of the audience. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like she came down the ramp. It was like, what are you doing here? It was like one
Yeah.
of those like, what the hell? It reminded me a lot of the Scott Hall when the Outsiders
Yeah.
came to
Yes.
WCW when he came through the crowd. Like that's what it reminded me of a lot. And you instantly people knew who she was because she's one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. But we also know that she has that history. She's a former WWE Women's Champion. She's done this stuff. Not saying that she deserved that stuff because she
Right.
didn't, but
Right.
she's done this. So she's decorated um to the non-educated fans, not to sound like an asshole, but she has that resume to those people that are just like, oh, she was in WWE and she was a badass there. Um, so I'm excited to see what they do with her. I hope it just wasn't a one-off thing, um, for like a big pop.
Well, I
But
mean, she does have her match coming up in May, so it could be something of entrance here, entrance there, and then after that match, whatever happens in that match, if she doesn't get any injuries, obviously, then she is more full time AEW afterwards.
yeah, I think that schedule is going to work better for her too. They
Yeah.
only work like what, like once every 2 months on pay per view, and then once a week. So that's get or twice a week if you count Collision. But yeah, I really thought that it was a great debut for her. But let's talk about Jungle Boy Jack Perry
Yeah.
for a second, man. What a battle royal that was! It was entertaining as hell. The one negative I have is Leo Rush. What in the hell did y'all do to my boy? Who told him that look, like, I don't mind the eyes because I've been following Leo for a long time. So his like darkened heart on the indies where he was like this demon inspired kind of Finn Balor character is amazing. And if you have never seen that entrance, go YouTube it. It is fantastic. Why the fuck does he look like the black version of Voldemort right now? I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're doing this with one of the best wrestlers in the world. I don't get it. I don't know who told him shaving his head was a good idea because it's not. You look like an expired milk dud. So get that fixed very quick, very fast, please.
We'll get to that about SmackDown though. But no, that 21 man Blackjack Rumble was an absolute treat,
Yeah,
and that's the way that those should be. But honestly, the way they had Dynamite a few weeks ago, where uh, Jungle Express's music just kept playing as the match was going on, and they couldn't get the music to stop or whatever.
yeah,
I would have been fully okay with that happening during this massive Rumble, just because there was so much going on.
yeah,
I felt like music in the background, like some kind of movie massive battle or something. That would have been perfect to have for that entire match.
yeah,
The only thing it was missing was the music in the back.
yeah.
But I'm not upset with who won. I would
No,
have been okay if Ricochet kept it. Honestly, the way everybody performed in that match, absolutely outstanding.
yeah. It was one of the best matches of the night. It was the finish was awesome. You
Yes.
had the Jungle Boy and Ricochet fighting on the apron, and then you get this sequence where Jungle Boy just catches Ricochet with a reverse Rana off the apron and somehow stays up, but Ricochet falls. What a great sequence. And I just hope they make that title mean more because there's so many titles in AEW.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and some would say too much. I agree with that. I think there's way too many belts um, to even give a shit about, like the
Yeah,
Continental
they've
shit.
got such a huge roster.
Yeah,
If WWE did that, that could allow them to get more screen time for some people that aren't getting as much,
I have
or
been
just
begging
being a
WWE.
joke of screen time.
I have been begging WWE so much to bring back like a television championship, or hell, even
Cruiserweight something.
like Jesus, even an internet championship.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, they put the speed title on NXT or whatever, so or evolve. So
yeah,
why not do something like that on the main roster?
I don't know. They confuse me a lot.
Don't bring
Um,
back that 24/7 title because they always made that a joke.
yeah. Although I loved what R-Truth did with it. Greatest 24/7 champion of all time.
Touche.
Um, but switching gears to the women's tag team titles, Willow Nightingale did retain. Did no, she lost the TBS championship, didn't she?
No, she kept that. They lost
Okay.
the tag.
Okay. So we were almost dead on with that prediction.
Yep.
Um, I think we were actually.
Yeah, we
Um,
were.
yeah, Megan Bain and I forgot the other girl's name, whatever her name is.
There was a new girl in the group.
Yeah. Getting the
It's
um
unfortunate Penelope wasn't on there.
yeah, unfortunately. Uh
Yeah.
Getting the win and getting the new tag titles, I think it's good. I think they need to start building that tag team division a little bit more and make those titles more prestigious than what they are. Because the same team held it for like what, 6 months?
Yeah. And really didn't battle anybody
Worthy.
major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that we can skip over, but I do want to jump over to we got 10 minutes remaining, so we got to wrap this up. Uh I do want to jump over to Will Osprey real quick because that to me was the biggest moment of my year. He's the greatest wrestler in the world. Pound for pound, I can put him up against anybody, and to me, he's better than anybody in the world right now. Came back, had an incredible match on Dynamite with Blake Christian. Um, yeah, the way they did that, the way they're building that up is great, and I can't wait to see where he goes from here. What a
And the fact he
debut!
called out Moxley and the Death Riders afterwards. I mean, it's
Yeah,
that just keep your eyes open because it's going to be amazing.
man, when he called out Moxley and said, "I don't need a whipping to break somebody's neck. I'll do it with my bare fucking hands," like that was, oh my gosh.
Yep. He's all business right now.
But since we only got 10 minutes, let's jump over to SmackDown because two big things happened to me on this show, and good God, we got 2009 Randy Orton back, and I freaking love it. I think jumping course real quick just to talk about it, that Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson segment was absolutely fantastic. I loved everything about it. I love Kit Wilson so much. I think he can be annoying to some people. I know Drew's not the biggest fan of his gimmick, but man, you can't deny he is so.
I won't deny his talent. I will not
Oh
deny
my
his talent,
God,
but the gimmick I can't stand.
it's so good. He's taken out the toxic masculinity in WWE, and it is absolutely incredible.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that Jelly Roll, I do believe that it won't surprise me if he signs a full time deal with WWE in the very near future.
I'd say after Mania, like he'll have a Mania match probably,
Yeah,
and then afterwards he'll sign an official deal likely.
yeah. And I think that first deal will be like a Logan Paul deal where he only makes sporadic appearances.
Yeah,
But we all know that if he gets better, which his selling was better on SmackDown, I felt
yeah.
it was a lot better. Um, People that love wrestling, and I can tell that I don't like him as a person. I think he's a piece of trash human being, and I have my reasons. If you don't know the Jelly Roll and Upchurch stuff, go Google it, find it somewhere. Um, but we all know that once you get that wrestling bug, and if you really love it, you can't
Oh yeah.
walk away from it.
Nah,
So
not one bit. Not one bit.
I look for him to be around a lot more frequently, coming up very soon. Um, but jumping course back to Randy Orton, what a way to say, you know what? I'm going to beat Cody Rhodes. This is the version that Cody wanted. And he did. He asked for this.
Yep.
He said in that promo, I want the best version of you. And Randy knows the best version of him is that sick, sadistic bastard who doesn't care who he hurts, who he has to get through to get to that 15th world championship.
And I'm waiting to see who he's gonna punt. If he does the punt, then that is gonna be the legit Randy's back.
I think it's going to be Cody. I think it's going to be Cody
Would it
at
be at Mania or would it be before then?
I think that's such a big moment, and like to me, that punt moment lasted so much in my memory from my childhood that's such a big move and such a big moment that it has to happen in a WrestleMania.
Yep.
Like growing up,
So he hasn't done it in a long time.
no, he hasn't done it since like 2021 when he did it to Christian,
Yep.
leading up to his match with Edge at WrestleMania. Um, and to me, that's the biggest moment biggest move that Randy Orton has. It's the most devastating because growing up to me, like somebody got punted, they were out for 8 months. Like it was that was just how it was. I mean, leading up, that's how they built that whole CM Punk and
Right.
Randy Orton match at
Right.
WrestleMania 27. Uh, so it's got to be a big moment. I want to see it. I want to see him kick Cody Rhodes' head off his shoulders. Uh,
Same
and
way
maybe
Smith punted that baby. I want to see it happen.
maybe yes, maybe that's how we get a heel Cody Rhodes. Maybe he
Probably.
loses this belt and maybe he says, he comes back, take 6 months off. Like genuinely, take 6 months off, come back and say, you know what? That kick to my head, it knocked some sense into me.
But that, or likely the backlash after Mania is just going to be all
Rematches.
some of the WrestleMania matches part two.
Yep.
But we cannot forget that we have a new tag team on SmackDown.
Yeah. Damian Priest and
And
R-Truth.
you know that someone did not tell Damian Priest, you guys are winning the titles tonight. That look on his face was like, oh shit, we just screwed up on live TV. Uh-oh. And then it's like, oh, this is actually ours. All right. Just the look of excitement on his face and surprise. Somebody didn't tell him what was going on.
Yeah, nobody told him what was going on. We have 4 minutes remaining on our recording, so I want to jump over to the Jacob Fatu, Nick Aldis,
Yep.
and Drew McIntyre stuff real quick. I do think we see Nick Aldis at some point just beat the fucking shit out of Drew McIntyre
It's going
because
to happen.
he said a little line that I didn't hear a lot of people talk about online last night. And he said Donovan, who is Mickey James and Nick Aldis' son, should be ashamed to have you as a father.
Yeah, you don't bring the kids into it.
Now I'm not a father yet, but my dogs are like my kids. Somebody says something about my dogs, now we're scrapping. Like I'm gonna kill you. You don't fuck with my babies. Those are like my kids. So I know what that's like. So I know you don't fuck with people's kids. You don't bring that up. Now in the scripted thing, I'm sure it was everything was good, but in real life, somebody says something about somebody's kids, it's on site. It ain't
Right.
happening. No, it ain't happening. So that to me says, okay, Nick Aldis is getting fed up with this shit. Like he's trying to be this corporate guy and be okay,
Yep.
but he's gonna unleash that NWA guy that the
Oh,
WWE
Magnus is going
has
to come out.
about.
He's going to unleash Magnus at some point.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Um, and it's gonna be glorious. But the show ended with such an awesome moment. They brawled throughout the entire show. Like they
Yep.
just, through different backstage segments, they beat the hell out of each other the entire show. And it leads up to this big moment at the end where they're fighting on kind of this like scaffold thing in like this parking lot behind a gate. And they start beating the hell out of each other. And you could see that Jacob Fatu gets the upper hand on Drew McIntyre. But as Drew McIntyre is falling, he pulls Jacob Fatu down with him. And what a build for this
Yep.
Mania match this has been.
Yep.
I wasn't excited for this when I realized, oh, this is the direction we're going. But I'm excited for this match now because now they're just going to beat the hell out of each other at WrestleMania. And it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be great. But give me your thoughts on it real fast.
Dude, I'm just waiting to see if it's going to be them actually getting together at Mania or if something's going to happen to Fatu. And then, Drew tries to get the upper hand before the match and take out Fatu. And then they need to find somebody to take his place because he's not medically cleared. Here comes Magnus. And in the match, here comes Fatu later on to get his pound of flesh.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great. But overall, I thought wrestling was okay this week. It's not outstanding, but it was definitely a week to watch, and I think the build up to WrestleMania has been solid. But with that
Yes.
being said, guys, I want to close out this episode and thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Drew for being here again. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Excuse me, if you're on Spotify, and catch us every Monday at 5 p.m. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.